welcome to the AWS tutorials. My name is Kastro Kiran. In the last video, we have understood how to work with the static website hosting in an S3 bucket. As a part of this video, here we are going to focus on a concept which is called as versioning. So first we will understand what is meant by versioning, and then we will see the different scenarios with respect to the AWS console, how versioning will work. Let's say I have created one S3 bucket, and in this S3 bucket, I have uploaded an object inside it. And the name of the object that I have given is file.txt. This is the name of the file that I have uploaded into the S3 bucket. Or you can say, this is the name of the object that I have uploaded into the S3 bucket. Now, inside this file.txt, I have written some content which is called as Amazon Web Services and DevOps. So you can consider this as the original file that is uploaded into the S3 bucket. So what is the original file? The original file name is file.txt, and in the original file, there is a content called Amazon Web Services and DevOps. Now, whenever you upload an object into the S3 bucket, we will see two different kinds of scenarios. So first, let us understand the first scenario here. So here, before talking about the case one, let me repeat once again. I have created a file, or I have uploaded an object into the S3 bucket, and the object name is file.txt. Now, inside this file.txt, I have written some content which is called as Amazon Web Services and DevOps, right? So now what I will do in the case one is, if I try to upload once again the same file with the same content, what will happen? So here the scenario is, if the same file, that is with the same name and same data. So if I upload a file one more time, which is having a same name and also with the same data once again, what will happen is, whatever the original file that we have uploaded here, this file will get replaced with the file that I have uploaded in the case one. Now here what is happening, the original file is getting replaced with the file that I have uploaded in the case one. So what is the problem here? The problem is the data deletion and overwriting of an existing file is going to happen. Now, what does it mean by data deletion and overwriting of existing file? Now, this is the existing file. That is, this is the very first time that I have uploaded the file. And when I'm trying to upload the file for the second time, which is with the same name and with same data, what is happening? This original file we are going to lose. Okay, this original file we are going to lose. Now, which file will be there? The original file will get replaced with the newly added file that we have uploaded in the case one. Now, since in case one and in the original scenario, the file name and the content is same, so there is no problem with them because the content is same in both scenarios. But however, what we need to understand from case one is, whenever we upload an object with the same name, okay, with the same name and with the same content, the original object will get replaced with the newly added file. So the problem here is the data deletion and overwriting of existing file will happen. Now here, since the file in the both scenarios, that is in the original scenario and in the case one, the file name and the content inside the file is same. So there is no problem with that. But let's look at the case two. Now in the case two, what I will do is, I will upload the file, okay, with the same name, that is file.txt, but with a different content. Let's say instead of using Amazon Web Services and DevOps, I have used GCP and DevOps. Okay, I have written the content as GCP and DevOps, but the name of the file is same. Okay, in all these cases, the file name is same. Okay, especially with respect to case two. In case two, the name of the file I'm not going to change, but the content inside the file I'm going to change. Now, when I upload the third time with the same name, but with different data, what is going to happen? Whatever the file that I have uploaded in the case one, that file will get replaced with the file that I have uploaded in the case two. So here what we need to understand, the thing that we need to understand is, whenever we upload a file with the same name and with the same content or with the different content, the original file is going to get replaced with the newly added file. So the problem in both the cases is the data is getting deleted, and whatever the existing file is there, that existing file is being overwritten. So this is the problem that we commonly face in the S3 service. What is the problem? The problem is when we upload a file with the same name, whether it is with the same data or with different data, the original file will get replaced with the newly added file. Suppose, let's say, if you want to add a new file with a new name, then there won't be any problem. The data deletion and overwriting of existing file will not happen. The problem comes only when you have the same file name, and when you try to upload the file with the same name multiple times, every time whenever you upload, the old file will get replaced with the new file. So that means the data deletion and overwriting of existing file is one of the common problems that we face in the S3 service. Now, to take care of this problem, AWS has introduced a concept which is called as versioning. So the solution for the data deletion and overwriting of existing file when we upload the file with same name multiple times is the concept of versioning. So why versioning is introduced? Versioning is introduced in such a way that, suppose, let's say you are working in one of the teams of a project. Now, let's say if a person has created a file with the name called file.txt. Now, you also have created a file called file.txt. Now, let's say the person one has uploaded the file for the very first time into the S3 bucket. Now, you are also trying to upload the file into the S3 bucket. Now, whenever we upload the file into the S3 bucket, it will get uploaded. But the problem is, since person one is having the same file name and you also is having the same file name, whoever is going to upload the latest time, only that file will be there, the old file will not be there. So that means the data deletion and overwriting of existing file will happen here. So to take care of this kind of problems, we are going to use a concept which is called as a versioning. So what is versioning? Versioning is basically a technique that helps us to maintain multiple versions of a same object that are uploaded into the same bucket. Remember, the same file name has to be uploaded into the same bucket. If you are uploading, suppose, let's say I have created a file called file.txt and I have uploaded into one bucket. Now, when I upload the same file name into a different bucket, then there won't be any problem of data deletion and overwriting. Okay, the problem comes only when you upload the file with the same name multiple times into the same bucket. When you are uploading it into the different buckets, the problem will not come. So when you are uploading the file with the same name multiple times into the same bucket, then only this problem comes. So S3 versioning helps us to maintain multiple versions of an object in one bucket. Okay, remember, in a single bucket, so that you can restore objects that are accidentally deleted or that are accidentally overwritten by the same file name. So let us understand this one in a more detailed way by going into the AWS console. Remember, whenever we create an S3 bucket, by default, for any S3 bucket, the versioning will be disabled. That's the default scenario. So if you want to enable the versioning for a bucket, you have to explicitly enable that option. I will show you where you can enable the versioning and how you can disable the versioning for a particular S3 bucket. That we will see in the later point of this video. But here, let us understand what are the different states that are available for an S3 bucket. So in general, there are three different cases, or there are three different states for an S3 bucket. The first state is called as unversioned bucket. And the second state is called as versioning enabled bucket. And the third state is called as versioning suspended. So these are the three different states for an S3 bucket: unversioned bucket, versioning enabled, and versioning suspended. Now, when these three states will be available for a bucket? Suppose, as I said earlier, by default, whenever we create an S3 bucket, the bucket will have the versioning in the disabled mode. So all such buckets, when versioning is by default disabled, they are called as unversioned buckets. Okay, so unversioned bucket is something where the versioning is disabled for a bucket. Now, whenever we enable the versioning for a bucket, or whenever we work with the versioning concept, for every object that we are going to upload into the S3 bucket, which has got S3 versioning enabled. Okay, remember, whenever you enable a version for an S3 bucket, for all the bucket, there will be a version number that will be shown. That's called as version ID. Now, for unversioned bucket, the version ID will be shown as null. Suppose to keep it in a very simple way, let's say I have created a bucket and in that bucket I have uploaded an object. Now, this object was uploaded before enabling the versioning. So since I have uploaded this object before enabling the versioning, what is the version ID that is being shown here? You can see the version ID is being shown as null. Now, after enabling the versioning, whenever you upload an object into the S3 bucket, such bucket is called as versioning enabled. So versioning enabled is displayed whenever you enable the versioning for a bucket. Now, for all the buckets that you are enabling the versioning, for every object that you are uploading into the versioning enabled bucket, there will be a version ID which will be called as version number. And this version number will be a combination of alphabets and numerics. So that's called as alphanumeric version ID. So here you can see I have uploaded a object that is with this name, and you can see the version ID is provided by the S3 bucket. Remember, this version ID will be shown only when you enable the versioning for the bucket. If you don't enable the versioning for a bucket, all the objects that you are uploaded into the versioning not enabled bucket, they will have the version ID as null as the version ID. For all the objects that you have uploaded into the S3 bucket, which has got versioning enabled, for all such objects, they will get an alphanumeric version ID. Now, the last scenario is, or the last state of a bucket is the versioning suspended. So this is basically displayed when you disable the versioning for the bucket. Okay, so these are the three different states of a bucket: unversioned bucket, versioning enabled, and versioning suspended. So unversioned buckets are the buckets for which the versioning is disabled. For a bucket, when you enable the versioning, all such buckets are called as versioning enabled buckets. And remember, whenever we upload any object into the versioning enabled bucket, all the objects will contain a version ID. And the last one is versioning suspended. This is displayed when we disable the versioning for a bucket. So these are the three different states that are available in an S3 bucket. Now let's see versioning concept in S3 service, especially by going into the AWS console. Now let's talk about in how many ways we can enable the versioning for a bucket. So there are two different ways of how we can enable the versioning for a bucket. The first way is while creating the bucket itself, we can enable the versioning. So suppose we all know so far how to create an S3 bucket. Now, when we are giving the name of the S3 bucket, and then when you scroll down to this particular thing, which is called as bucket versioning, by default, the versioning will be disabled. So if you want to enable the versioning, you can check this one and then the versioning will be enabled. So this is the first way of enabling the versioning. That is during the creation of an S3 bucket. And the second way is after creating the bucket also, we can still enable the versioning for a bucket. You can say this is my bucket name, and in the bucket name, you can see an option called properties. In the properties, you can see this option called bucket versioning. Now, in the bucket versioning, you can see this option called edit here. Okay, you can see this option called edit. So once you click on edit, you can enable the versioning for the bucket. So these are the two ways of how we can enable the versioning for a specific bucket. Now let's understand how this versioning will look like before enabling the versioning, how a bucket will look like, and after enabling the versioning, how an S3 bucket will look like. Let's see that. So first, let us understand how the bucket will look like whenever we don't enable the versioning for a bucket. So before enabling the versioning for a bucket, this is how it looks like. You can see this is my bucket name, and you can see the regular information that we have worked so far, right? So this is my bucket name. Now, after enabling the versioning for a bucket, for the same bucket, that is S3 versioning hyphen Kastro, I have enabled the versioning, and whenever you enable the versioning for a bucket, there will be one difference that you are going to observe, and that difference is the show versions toggle bar. You can see a toggle bar here that is shown, which is show versions toggle bar. Okay, this is called as show versions, and this is a toggle bar. Now, before enabling the versioning, am I seeing any kind of toggle bar here? No, I'm not able to see. But once after I enable the versioning for a bucket, there is a new option that is being shown, that is show versions toolbar. Now, what is the importance of show versions toolbar? The show versions toolbar will show you the different versions of the same object. Suppose, let's say you have uploaded an object with a name called file1.txt. That's the object that you have uploaded. Now, second time also, when you upload the file with the same name, that is file1.txt. Third time also, you uploaded an object with the same name, that is file1.txt. Now, how many times we have uploaded the object? Three times we have uploaded the object, and this object is having the same name. Okay, this object is having the same name. Now, when you enable the show versions toggle bar, you will see the different versions of the same object which contains the same name. The objects which are containing the different name, there won't be any problem. The only problem comes with when you are uploading the object which contains the same name for multiple times, right? So let us understand that now. When I'm talking about the S3 versioning concept, we talked about two different scenarios. One is same file name with the same content, and the second scenario is same file name with a different content. So first, let us understand what will happen when you upload an object into the versioning enabled bucket which contains the same file name and it also contains the same data inside it or the same content inside it. Okay, this is my S3 bucket. You can see the bucket name here. Now, how to identify whether a bucket has got versioning enabled or disabled? If you want to identify whether a bucket has got versioning enabled or disabled, you can see this toggle bar. So whenever you see this show versions toggle bar, that indicates you have enabled the versioning for the bucket. Okay, right. So now here what I have done is I have uploaded a file which is called as file1.txt. Okay, this is the file that I have uploaded into the S3 bucket. Now in this file1.txt, I have some content which is called as this one. Okay, so here I have created an S3 bucket, and for this S3 bucket, I have enabled the versioning. That is why I'm seeing this show versions toggle bar. Now in that bucket, I have uploaded an object which is called as a file1.txt. Now in this file1.txt, I have written some content which is called as this is file1. Okay, this is the content that is available in file1.txt. Now, when I have uploaded this object, you can see the time and date also, February 2nd, 2024, and the time is 9:57 a.m. Okay, this is the time that I have uploaded the this particular object. Now, what happens is, now the same file, okay, the same file, when I upload for the second time with the same name and with the same data, what will happen? Now, here you can see I have enabled the show versions toggle bar. Okay, I have enabled the show versions toggle bar. Now, when I enable the show versions toggle bar, since I have uploaded only one file, when I enable the show versions toggle bar, it will show only the file that I have uploaded for the first time. Okay, since I have only one time I have uploaded the file. Now, as I was mentioning, since you have enabled the versioning for a bucket, whatever objects that you upload into the versioning enabled bucket, all those objects will get a version ID, and that version ID is basically an alphanumeric characters. Okay, it contains alphabets and it also contains the numericals. Along with that, it also contains the special characters as well, but usually it is called as alphanumeric version number or version ID. Now, what I will do, the first time when I was uploading the file with file1.txt, that file was uploaded at 9:57. Remember, this time is more important for us now to understand the scenario. Now, what I will do is I will upload one more time the file with the same name, that is file1.txt. Now, in this file1.txt, I have the same content which I have in the previous scenario. That is, this is file1. That is the content available in file1.txt. Now, when I have uploaded this file I have uploaded at 10:03. Okay, on the same date at 10 o'clock or 10:03, I have uploaded the object. Now, am I able to see the older object that I have uploaded at 9:57? No, I am not able to see the object that I have uploaded at 9:57. I am able to see only one object. You can also clearly see here objects in the brackets, it is written as 1. That means I don't have the old file. Okay, I'm not able to see the old file. that I have uploaded at 9:57. I have seen the file. I am seeing the file which is uploaded latestly, that is at 10:03 a.m. If you want to see the versions of the same file, why I am calling it as versions? Because with the same name, I have uploaded the file one more time, right? So I want to see what are the different versions of this file. So in order to see the different versions of this file, what I will do is I will enable this show versions toolbar. Now you can see I have enabled the show versions toolbar, and as soon as I enabled the show versions toolbar, I am able to see the latest file in the top and then the oldest file at the bottom. Now you can see both files are visible here and both files are having the version ID. Okay, the both files are having the version IDs. The file1.txt, which was uploaded at 9:57, is having a separate version ID, and the file1.txt, which is uploaded at 10:03 a.m., is also having version ID. By this, what we can understand is even when we upload the files with the same name into the same S3 bucket, we can still have the different versions of the same file name. Okay, we can still have the different versions of the same object. Remember, this is only possible when you are uploading the objects with the same name. When you are uploading the objects with a different name, this problem will not come, right? Now, let's look at the second scenario, which is with the same file name, but with a different content. Now here, I will upload the object with the same name, that is file1.txt. Now this object I have uploaded at 10:10 in the morning. So far, how many objects we have? We have uploaded 3 objects which contains the same file name. The file 1, which was uploaded at 9:57, and the file 2, which was uploaded at 10:03, and the third time I am uploading the file at 10:10 a.m. Now the file that I am uploading at 10:10 a.m. is containing the same file name, but the content inside this file is different, which is Amazon Web Services. The file which I am uploading at 10:10 a.m. is containing the different content inside it, which is Amazon Web Services. But the file name is same. In all the 3 cases that we have seen so far, the file name is same. But here, when I am uploading for the third time, what is going to happen? I am going to upload the file with a different content here. I have uploaded the object for the third time with a different content inside it. Right. So now I am having, as I mentioned, I am having 3 versions of the file which contains the name file1.txt. Now, how will you see the different versions that are available on the same name? You need to enable the show versions toolbar. So since I have enabled the show versions toolbar, I am able to see the latest uploaded file, that is at 10:10 a.m. and also I am able to see the old files that I have uploaded at 9:57 and 10:03 a.m. Now here you can observe whatever files that we are going to upload or whatever the objects that we are going to upload, all those objects will be given with the version IDs. Now when you are seeing this version IDs, you will be able to see these version IDs only when you enable the versioning for a specific bucket. If you are not enabling the versioning for a bucket, you will not see this show versions toolbar, and also whatever the files that you are uploading latest, only those files will be there. The remaining old files will not be available until or unless if they are not containing the same name. If you are uploading the files with a different name, all the files will be available. By any chance, if you are uploading an object with the same file name, then only you will lose the old file and the old file will get replaced with the latest file. And that is the reason why you are seeing. So suppose when you are not enabling the show versions toolbar, which object you are seeing? You are seeing the object only that is uploaded latest, that is at 10:10. So you are not seeing the object that is at 9:57 and that is uploaded at 10:03 a.m. Now here you can clearly see object that is being shown as 1. Okay, that means you are able to see only the latest object. So if you want to see the old objects of the same file or old versions of the same file, then you have to enable the show versions toolbar. And now, as soon as you enable the show versions toolbar, you can see how many objects it is showing. In the show versions toolbar, the objects that is showing as 1 object. So remember, whenever you enable the show versions toolbar, you will see what are the different files that are available with the same name. Okay, all those files will be available, and the old files will also be saved. Okay, with version numbers or version IDs, all the files which contains the same name will be saved into the S3 bucket. Right. Now, let's understand what happens when you delete an object for which versioning is enabled. Okay, let's say I have enabled the versioning for a specific bucket, and by accidentally I have deleted an object. Okay, I have deleted an object that was uploaded into the versioning enabled bucket. Let's see that scenario. Now, currently, how many objects are available in our S3 bucket? I have three objects. So when I enabled the show versions toolbar, I am able to see three objects that are uploaded. Forget about whether they have the same content or different content. I have currently three objects that are available in my S3 bucket. But when I disable the show versions toolbar, what will happen? I'm able to see only the first object. Okay, the object that was uploaded latestly, that is at 10:10 a.m. Now, what I will do is I am going to delete the object that was uploaded at 10:10 a.m. So I have selected the object here, and then I will click on delete, and then I will delete the object. So once I delete the object, how my bucket looks like is, it is clearly telling there are no objects available. Okay, there are no objects available. But here you also have to understand the show versions toolbar is disabled now. Okay, it is currently disabled. So since I have disabled the show versions toolbar, whatever the file1.txt that is uploaded at 10:10 a.m., that object has got deleted. And you can see the objects is being shown as 0. So before deleting, I can see only one object. After deleting, I am unable to see any objects here. And one thing that you have to focus here, I have disabled the show versions toolbar. Now, when I enable the show versions toolbar, will I be able to see the object that is uploaded at 10:10 a.m.? Yes, that is what the another advantageous feature of S3 service. So here you can see I have enabled the show versions toolbar. Now, as soon as I enable the show versions toolbar, am I able to see all the files that I have uploaded at different times? Yes. So I'm able to see the file that was uploaded at 9:57. I'm also able to see the file that is uploaded at 10:03, and I'm also able to see the file that is uploaded at 10:10 a.m. But when I have deleted the file, I have deleted the object at 10:23. So this is the deleted file. Now, whenever you delete a file or whenever you delete an object that is uploaded into the versioning enabled bucket, all that files will have the type as delete marker. So what does it mean by type? It will not identify, or AWS will not identify whether it is a text file or Excel file. It will not identify the file type. Why? Because we have deleted it. So since we have deleted it, all the deleted objects will be having the delete marker tag, but the version ID will be still available. It only changes the type of the file as delete marker tag. So this tag is called as delete marker tag. So this is what happens when you delete an object which has got versioning enabled. Now let's say I want to recover this object. Okay, let's say that one of your team members has accidentally deleted this particular file. Now I want to recover a file which contains the delete marker tag. So how to recover the file which contains the delete marker tag is our next thing. Currently in my S3 bucket, I don't have any objects. Why I don't have any objects? Because I have deleted one object that was uploaded at 10:10 a.m. Right? So now if you want to see the different versions of the objects or the files that were deleted accidentally, you have to enable the show versions toolbar. Okay, you have to enable the show versions toolbar. And once you enable the show versions toolbar, I am able to see the deleted files and the files that were also not deleted. Now, what is our intention? Our intention is to recover the file which is deleted already. Now, for that case, what we need to do is select the file that contains the delete marker tag. Now, once you select it and then you delete it once again. Okay, you delete it once again. Now, when you do this, what will happen is when you delete a file which contains a delete marker tag, the file will get restored into the S3 bucket. Now here you can see I have deleted the file which contains the delete marker tag, and then when I disable the show versions toolbar, am I able to see the file that has uploaded at 10:10 a.m.? Yes. So this is how you can recover a file that has got delete marker tag. So the other advantage of working with versioning concept is, by any chance, if any of your team members are going to delete an particular object, So there is always a second option to recover the deleted files also. Currently, the file that I have got deleted has restored into the S3 bucket. Now, when you enable the show versions toggle bar, what will happen is it will show all the three versions of the same file. That is at 9:57, which was uploaded, 10:03 a.m., which was uploaded, and 10:10 a.m. also, which was uploaded. Now, am I able to restore the file that was deleted accidentally? Yes, it is possible. So when it is possible, only when we enable the versioning for a bucket, then only all these scenarios are possible. Now let's say I have completed working with my S3 bucket. Now I want to suspend the versioning for an S3 bucket. So how to suspend the versioning of an S3 bucket? So first open the S3 bucket and then go to the properties, and in the properties tab, you can see an option called bucket versioning, which is currently enabled here. So now I want to disable the versioning. Now in order to disable the versioning, you can see an option called edit here. Okay, you can see an option called edit. So once you click on edit, you can disable the versioning there. So you just have to select the disable option and then click OK or save changes so that the versioning will get disabled. So this is all about the concept of versioning. In the next video, we are going to see practically how to work with the versioning concept. Thank you.